Deep beneath the ancient roots of the great oak, rhythmic gears of the ant colony churn with relentless precision. The underground world hums with mechanical life. Black Ant Kael leads a specialized squad of veteran foragers through the narrow, bioluminescent tunnels of the inner sanctum. Their armor glints in the soft light. The squad moves with disciplined speed, navigating the winding routes that serve as the colony's structural skeleton. Every movement is perfectly calculated for efficiency. Their high-stakes mission is to retrieve the Crystal Sap from the Amber Glade, a contested borderland that holds the lifeblood of the Queen. The squad moves in a tight, perfect formation. Their mandibles click in rhythmic pheromone signals that only these elite warriors can truly understand. They emerge from the dark tunnel mouth into a dizzying world of towering blades of grass and shifting, predatory shadows. The scale is immense. Sunlight filters through the overhead canopy like golden spears, illuminating dust motes that float like embers in the stagnant air. The world is beautiful. Black Ant Kael signals a sudden halt. His antennae twitch violently as he detects the sharp, acrid scent of rival pheromone markers nearby. The path ahead appears clear, but the heavy silence of the forest floor is weighted with the presence of unseen eyes watching. Danger lurks.
The time has come. Remember your training. We are ready, Kael.
The squad begins their treacherous descent into the valley of thick moss. Every step is a calculated risk to avoid triggering vibration sensors. They reach the edge of the Dewdrop Ravine, where the terrain becomes slick with moisture and the footing grows increasingly unstable for the squad. A sudden, violent rustle in the dry leaves above triggers an immediate defensive stance from the entire squad. They form a protective circle instantly. From the deep shadows, a scouting party of the Crimson Legion erupts with blinding speed. Red carapaces glint like polished blood in the sun. Black Ant Kael strikes the first blow of the war, parrying a heavy lunge and countering with a swift strike to the attacker's joints. The clash of chitin rings through the humid air. It is a metallic sound that echoes across the silent ravine like a rhythmic war drum.
Crimson Legion, our time has come. Today, we fight for survival. Yes, General.
His soldiers lock their armored legs together to create an impenetrable wall of living shields. The Red Ant scouts circle them like hungry wolves. A heavy warrior from the enemy ranks lunges forward with a roar. The force momentarily breaks the integrity of the front line's shield. Black Ant Kael leaps onto the giant's broad back, driving his full weight down to destabilize the massive attacker before it can strike again. The skirmish intensifies as dozens more red ants join the fray. Black Ant Kael's squad is now outnumbered 3-1 in a sea of red. Black Ant Kael realizes they cannot win this head-on confrontation. He signals a tactical retreat toward the dark safety of a hollow log nearby. They break formation on his mark, sprinting through the tangled undergrowth while dodging the snapping jaws of the pursuing Crimson Legion hunters. The chase is a frantic race through a labyrinth of rotting wood and sticky spider silk. The squad maneuvers through the obstacles with desperation. Behind them, the Crimson Legion follows with relentless speed. Their pheromones scream for blood across the forest floor in a terrifying wave of scent. They dive into the dark, suffocating recesses of a fallen cedar log. The interior is a maze of glowing fungus and ancient, rotting wood. The ground beneath them vibrates with the heavy, rhythmic footfalls of their pursuers. The vibrations shake loose clouds of toxic, blinding fungal spores. Black Ant Kael leads the way through the gloom. His own bioluminescent marks glow dimly to guide his team through the winding passages. They reach a vertical shaft where they must climb. The squad defies gravity as they scramble up the sheer, slick wooden walls of the log. Below them, the first of the Red Raiders enters the shaft. Their mandibles snap at the heels of the trailing Black Ant squad members. A sudden, massive tremor shakes the entire log. A giant centipede, disturbed from its long slumber, stirs in the deep darkness below. The predator's many legs ripple like a terrifying wave. This force compels both warring factions into a desperate, vertical climb for their survival.
Hold on, friend! I'm coming for you! Advance the line!
Black Ant Kael reaches down to pull a lagging comrade up a steep, crumbling ledge just in time. The centipede's shadow looms large behind them.
Below us.
They burst through a crack in the upper bark just as the centipede's crushing mandibles destroy the space they occupied seconds ago. They emerge onto the top of the log, the wind whipping past them. They survey the vast, dangerous landscape that still lies ahead. The Amber Glade is finally visible in the distance. However, a massive canyon of jagged stone blocks their direct path back home. To cross the gap, they must navigate the hanging vines. These are living bridges suspended over a rushing, deadly stream far below. The Crimson Legion emerges from the log behind them, bruised but undeterred. They resume the hunt with a renewed and terrifying ferocity. Black Ant Kael's squad reaches the center of the Amber Glade. It is a shimmering oasis where golden sap drips slowly from a wounded tree. The resource is pure energy. The glowing substance is enough to sustain the entire colony through the harsh coming winter months. But the glade is already occupied by a squad of Hornet Mercenaries. They hover in the air like heavy, armored gunships guarding the sap. The squad hides behind a cluster of giant mushrooms. They watch the Hornets harvest the sap with cold, clinical efficiency and precision. Black Ant Kael knows they must strike now while the Hornets are distracted by the weight of their own heavy loads of sap. He coordinates a complex pincer movement, dividing his team to strike simultaneously from the flanks and the high overhanging branches. On his silent signal, the ants launch themselves from the overhanging leaves. They land squarely on the Hornets' vibrating wings with precision. The air is suddenly filled with the deafening drone of engines and the high-pitched screech of insect fury and total surprise. Black Ant Kael engages the lead Hornet, a massive beast with a stinger that looks like a jagged, poisoned rapier. The fight is intense. He dodges the lethal needle by a hair's breadth. Using his superior agility, he climbs onto the Hornet's vibrating thorax to disable it. He disables the wing joints with a precise strike. This sends the flyer spiraling out of control into the soft moss below the tree. His team moves quickly to secure the first canisters of sap. These are small, translucent containers filled with the glowing amber liquid. The noise has alerted the main Crimson Legion force nearby. They are now caught in a death trap between Hornets and the Red Army.
For the Queen. Prepare for battle.
The retreat becomes a desperate gauntlet as the squad carries the heavy amber canisters toward the Great Bridge. Time is running out. The bridge is a single, narrow twig stretching across a deep abyss. It is filled with jagged, sharp pebbles that mean certain death below. Black Ant Kael takes the rearguard position, fighting off waves of red scouts who are determined to seize the prize at any cost. As they reach the midpoint of the swaying twig, the wind picks up speed. It threatens to blow them all into the dark void. A Crimson commander, twice the size of Kael, steps out to block the far end of the narrow bridge. He is a wall of muscle. The two warriors clash in the center of the swaying wood. It is a high-stakes duel where one single slip means a certain death. Black Ant Kael uses the momentum of a sudden wind gust. He swings around the commander's flank to deliver a final, decisive blow. The commander loses his footing and falls. He disappears into the darkness below with a final, silent snarl of defeat in his eyes. The squad reaches the other side safely, but the rest of the Crimson Army is closing in fast on their position from behind. Black Ant Kael looks back and realizes the only way to save the colony is to destroy the bridge and cut off pursuit. He strikes the base of the twig with every ounce of his remaining strength. The wood splinters under the force of his powerful mandibles. With a final, echoing crack, the bridge collapses. It sends the pursuing Red Army tumbling helplessly into the deep ravine below. Exhausted, battered, and bleeding, the squad limps toward the towering mound that marks the entrance to their home colony. The massive earthen gates swing open as the sentries recognize the familiar pheromone signal of the returning heroes. The colony waits. Inside, the colony erupts in a low, rhythmic vibration of triumph. The precious amber sap is delivered to the central chambers. Black Ant Kael stands at the entrance, watching the horizon as the sun begins to set. It casts long, bloody shadows across the land. They have won this battle for survival, but he knows in his heart that the war for the garden has only just begun. New scouts are already reporting movement in the north. A shadow is rising that threatens the existence of all insect kind. Black Ant Kael cleans the dust from his mandibles. His gaze is fixed on the darkening sky with a sense of warrior determination. The Queen's voice echoes through the deep tunnels. It is a telepathic call to prepare the defenses for the next dawn's arrival.
Forward! You trespass on sacred ground. This world belongs to the Legion. Stand down or face judgment.
The gears of war continue to turn in the shadows. The ants will be ready when the next horn of battle sounds across the land.